So I'm 16 years old and I'm going grey. It isn't visible right now because of the fact that I'm wearing my hair swept back. And depending on how I have my hair, you can't really notice it. Like obviously right now you can't really see, but sometimes when I have my hair down, or when you look from the side from a different angle, you can sometimes tell. People have pointed out to me before, when they've been looking at me from the side, they were like, "Oh man, you got some grey hairs," and I'm like, "Yeah, like basically I do." So as you can see, most of them are actually on the front and on the middle to the middle left of my head. I don't have any anywhere else for now, and I do hope that it stays that way. But I must have like around over 100 or somewhere near 100. I know it's definitely not like 10 or 20. Like, as you can tell right now, when I do kind of pull my hair back, you can really, really see them coming through. I wouldn't say it looks too unnatural. It doesn't look like something that sticks out really badly. It does kind of blend in. I don't know how, but it does. So it started when I was 13 years old. I remember the day. I remember where I was. I was in the corridor. It was quite bright there, and I just looked in the mirror and I saw grey hair, and I thought to myself, well, I've got this really, really long hair, the longest I've ever had it in my life. It's long and it's colourful, and I've got all sorts of different shades of brown in there. Some parts I even thought were basically blonde, like a very dark blonde. I just looked at that and I thought to myself, it's fine. It's not grey hairs. It can't be. I mean, come on. You've watched movies like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Grey hairs is associated with aging, with like people who are like 50 plus, and you're only 13. I mean, I was only 3 years into puberty. How could that be possible? I barely had hairs on my chin, so how was I going to be graying by then? That's crazy. So then I asked my mum, and then she thought the same thing. She was just kind of like, nah, it can't be. And then I asked my aunt, and then she was just like, maybe it is. And then I was like, oh, okay. I was a little bit worried, but I was just like, it can't be. So I just, time passed, and I thought it was just like a patch or something. Maybe I just had a particular area in my head which I just had greys. But then I started getting more as I got older up until today, and I do find it strange. I do find it very strange how I'm greying, because I'm only 16. But then yeah, now I'm gonna go into the reasons why I think that I'm greying. So usually greying is related to anxiety and stress and those sorts of things. But with me, although I did feel anxious, and around that point in my life, is probably when I felt the most anxious, I still don't think that was quite the reason why, because my anxiety was within the realms of being normal. I would say. I think I'm not a psychologist, but I'm guessing it was like it never got to a point which I had any extreme thoughts or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm guessing it was normal. So with that being out of the way, what I think it is actually genetics. You see, my mum, when she was on her late 20s, I remember her already having to dye her hair. And my dad, he's on his mid 30s right now, and his hair is, he's pretty much got a head full of grey hair. So I wouldn't have any doubt if it was just genetics, and just such a thing which I can't really run away from. So I guess it's probably going to be that, really. I think it's just purely based on genetics. I don't quite think that it's anxiety, because most teenagers do have that higher level of anxiety. It's just kind of more of like a natural thing, really. And I'm not even joking as well. I mean, this thing about karma, I don't know how I feel about it, but I remember I had this friend of mine. He's a very nice guy, and we had some friendly banter. He had like a patch of grey hair here, just a patch of grey hair here, and I basically called him Old Man Jaden, and again, it was all friendly. That there was no harm behind it or anything, but I just find it quite funny because we had that inside joke of him being an old man because he had a patch of grey hair, and look at me now, I'm properly grey. But I need to relax a little bit. I feel like I'm exaggerating. It's not the end of the world. I mean, realistically, for now, you can't really tell anyway. And I'm just hoping that in the future it won't quickly spread towards my beard. It won't be one of those things that will stick out like a sore thumb. Having like the grey little bits on the beard, but hopefully that won't happen anytime soon. Some people are saying like, dude, by the time you're 20, you're going to be mostly grey, and I'm like, I don't know. And at this point, I don't care. I mean, if I hate it that much, I'll just dye it, and I'll just do something about it. But I think what will actually happen is I'll just be fine with it. I mean, I'll just try to wear it properly, you know, have some confidence with it. And when you have it like that, it can almost be like a unique style. I mean, that's not exactly what it is, but that's what you're trying to do. When you've been greeted with going grey so early, the best you can do is just rock it, you know? So that's what I think, really. But I have good news. I actually have good news. Even though I'm grey, something I've noticed about myself is that my hairline is actually quite forward. I have some hairs which literally start like here or something, which sometimes needs to just be like yanked out, which hurts. But my point is that at least I don't think that I'm going to be balding soon. I could be wrong. I don't want to jinx anything, all right? I don't want to, I'm just not going to talk about it with my luck. But I will say that I don't think that I will be balding anytime soon. So that's actually a good thing. So I think what that's going to mean is when I'm older, I'm going to have predominantly grey hair, but I'm not going to be balding. And I'm fine with that. I mean, no offense to anyone who's bald, but I'd rather be greying than be bald. Personally, that's just something that I thought, you know, it was good to reflect upon. I know these aren't always accurate, but I did this gene test, and then the gene test actually told me that I'm less likely to experience balding at a younger age. So I'm guessing before like 40 or so. So that's actually some good news, which I'm pretty happy about. But either way, I feel like to sum things up, at first I was very confused. It's essentially like a 16-year-old balding, you know. There is not much difference with it, really. You're just kind of like, what the hell? Why is that happening? You just don't really get why. But you kind of accept it, and you kind of learn to like it, really. I mean, a nice way to look at it is just a little spice, you know, a little flavor. That sounds so weird, but you know what I mean. It's just like a little something different, I guess, to go off with. So I don't mind it as much nowadays. I just want to say very quickly, I apologise that I haven't uploaded very much recently. I've just had my exams, my AS exams. So that's it, guys. That's my experience with going grey so early. Please let me know if you've got any stories of yourself or of anyone else. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and click the notification bells. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.